Hey everybody, it's AVD here and we're back with WTH, that is Weekly Tech Highlights, the best tech news of the week. This episode is going to be a bit of a mega episode because there's so many pieces of tech news to cover. By the way, thank you so much for the wonderful support on the previous video. It has 43 views, 5 likes, and we're at 20 subscribers. And this is only in the first 4 days, so thank you guys so much. So strap those seatbelts in, smash that like button, and let's get into the news. Your weekly tech news in the best way possible. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. So, starting things off today is a bit of news about Apple News Plus, Apple's magazine service. So, Apple News Plus has got 200,000 subscribers. That's mind-boggling figures, and if you look at it, it's even more than an app called Texture. So far, Apple News Plus has been a grand success. There were some doubts over whether Apple's new service would actually succeed, but there you go. The numbers prove it for yourself. It has succeeded. And do keep in mind, this is only the first 2 days of Apple News Plus being out. It came out on March 25th, by the way. So this is actually pretty amazing to see these numbers. So there you go. This wraps up our first story for the day. Let's move on to our second story. So we have some leaks about the 2020 iPhones, and the screen sizes will be changing again. So the 5.8-inch iPhone is going to be shrinking to a 5.42-inch iPhone. And this report comes courtesy of DigiTimes, who have a mixed track record when it comes to Apple leaks. So they say that this actually might use Samsung's Y-Octa screen, or it might also use LG's TOE screen. It depends on what Apple decides to choose, but both of these are going to be AMOLED screens, so don't worry. And also the iPhone in form factor will be shrinking, and it will also have an A14 chip. This thing is going to be an absolute beast in terms of power, and it's going to be more efficient than the A13 chip, which we're going to be seeing in the 2019 iPhones. And also, think about this. A smaller form factor iPhone, shrinking bezels, and an absolute beast in power because of the A14 chip and AR capabilities leave me very excited for the 2020 iPhones. But again, DigiTimes, like I just said, has a mixed track record when it comes to Apple, so let's just cross those fingers and hope that this report is true. Otherwise, this will be a pretty big disappointment overall. So this marks the end of the Apple stories for today. Let's move on to our third story. So I was going through the news a few days ago, and I found this article from BGR. As shown in the article, the world's top Samsung insider just leaked a Galaxy Note 10 feature that will blow your mind. So, already, you know we're onto something sketchy here because this was on April Fool's Day. And I'm going to show you the tweet right now on screen. And it's from none other than the legendary Ice Universe himself. He says the Galaxy Note 10 will feature 100 times optical hybrid zoom camera and a 1.5-inch 192 megapixel camera, followed by a tongue sticking out emoji. Now you can already tell from the tongue out emoji that, hey, this is a prank. And I don't know, either BGR fell for it, or they thought that we were so gullible that we'd actually fallen for this April Fool's prank. But again, no, this is not happening. It'll have a variable aperture setup like the Galaxy S9 and beyond, but definitely not the 100 times optical zoom and 192 megapixel camera. That is, I think, a very good April Fool's prank to pull off. And you know what? BGR, if you were thinking you could fool us with that, seriously, do better than that. Overall, this wraps up our third story. Let's move on to our fourth story for the day. Do you guys remember the Samsung Galaxy S10e? The cheaper variant of the S10? Well, you know that Samsung historically hasn't done anything with the Note lineup. They just released one phone, and you're good to go. Well, this year, it just might be a bit different. As, hey, you might have an E version of the Note 10. I don't know who was asking for it, but hey, there you go. An E version of Samsung's Note flagship. So the prices of this thing are expected to drop at least $150 below the base price of $999 if it remains the same. There's still some doubt whether the phone will be available internationally or this is just reserved for Europe. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but otherwise, this could come along with a 5G model of the Note 10. So this model could be for people who don't want to really break the bank and buy the higher end Note 10. Overall, a pretty smart move by Samsung. Definitely waiting for the August event. So our final story of the day comes from Google, and it's about Google Plus. So Google Plus is officially being discontinued by Google due to a low amount of users. And I'm personally not that sad to see Google Plus go, as I didn't use it, but honestly, it could have received more users if Google advertised it a bit more. I guess because of the lack of advertising, many people would have not come to know about Google Plus. And that's the same case with me. I came to know of Google Plus because of a friend. And yeah, I'm personally not that sad to see Google Plus go. But again, this is the second week in a row where we have something being discontinued or scrapped. Like last week we had AirPower that was completely scrapped, and this week it's Google Plus. So this also brings to an end this week's episode of Weekly Tech Highlights. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button along with hitting subscribe and smashing that notification bell so you're updated with the latest that I post. I'm Abhinav Dileep from AVD, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.